everybody. It's me, G. Randall Johnson from the Triple Clowns, alongside the one, the only Tom from Tom and Tom Racing. That's right. Hollywood Time. He's got the shirt on. He's showing himself right here. You can't see the top of his head, but that's okay. We love him anyway. But we're here for a special edition. I know we did it last week as well. We didn't do our weekly show, and we did the Medina Spirit thing. Rest in peace, Medina Spirit. We talked about that. And we brought up the fact of this week, we are going to go into how to fix horse racing. Tom, we put it out there. We threw the gauntlet out to the people, and the people have responded.
We got overwhelmed with responses. It's great. Just it goes to show you that this is a sport worth saving, and it's a crumbling. But we're nobody else is figuring out what everybody is saying. What's wrong with it? Baffert, this, that, and the other. Nobody's like, hey, okay, we got to glue it back together and fix it somehow. And that's what we're trying to do. And if it starts with us, it starts with us. Nobody's looking for pats on the back. We just want to save this. We just want this to be. We want to be doing this, talking about horses 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. And that's why we're getting everybody together. We want to hear from everybody, every angle, every person. Like them, hate them, I don't care. We all need to band together. And there's a big problem with that because a lot of people out there are just so negative when they lose and when whatever something goes wrong or anything. At the end of the day, let's not be so negative. And if we are negative, which is understandable, let's figure out how to make it positive. I mean, I never thought I'd come out with this, Buddhist hippie type of thing, me. But honestly, at this point, stop. It's not about you. It's about horse racing. And people have answered, and I'm so happy to hear that. And hopefully we can get to all of them. We're going to go through, when we talk about having a commissioner, that's no joke. We want to talk to the people that you guys think will be commissioner or could be commissioner to hear their theories as well. But at the end of the day, it's the people. It's the people that are out there every day. I don't care if you're on TV. I don't care if you're me. I don't care if you're Tom. I don't care if you're whatever. You guys have the same amount of voice, if not more. And let's all band together. Let's get into it right now. Let's talk about some of these things. We're no experts. Let's talk about how we can fix horse racing from the people. And we'll talk about what we think about these ideas. And we'll also chart these ideas and maybe come up with our top 10 of the most frequently said ones. And maybe some that in our mind think are mind-blowing, which they all are. And we'll go on from there. So Tom, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, and listen, Randy knows people. I know people. We get this ball rolling. Like we were saying last week, it's a snowball. So we're just starting out. So a lot of things. People brought a lot of things to my attention that I took for granted. And the first thing that I really think should be a no-brainer. We're trying to get people in this sport and not push it away. They should. Why are people paying to go not only into the track? You get the daily racing forms like $11. That's a lot of money for some people. That might be two. That might be 3 races for some people. We want to have people come in and not people go out. I had 4 or 5 people tell me that, and I'm lucky. I go to some of the tracks in the Mid Atlantic. There's no admission fee. I know there are admission fees a lot of other places for even general admission. But yeah, that was one theme that people brought up time and time again, and I can attest. Like I said, programs, PPs, they're not cheap. And if you want people to learn how to read programs, why are they paying? If their track is running 3-4 times a week, why are they going to be out $30 some odd just to look at a program that, oh, hey, it's going to take me a year and figure out how to read this, and I'm shelling out all this money.
No, absolutely. Listen, I'm all for kids should be provided programs with their weekly reader in first grade. I think that
I was. You were.
Yeah, we were. I mean, it wasn't given by our school.
No,
But yeah, no, absolutely. I used to
that was
tuck
original Tom. That was original Tom.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I used to tuck in the Greyhound program in my weekly reader in second grade to get a daily double. But no, absolutely. We talk about Hong Kong. I've gone on. Sarah does a show out there.
Mhm.
I just did one. We look at free PPs. I mean, it's free there, and that's China. Just saying. And we have free programs there. So absolutely, it's a small thing. It's a good point. Small thing, but good points. So yeah, before we get on to what the people are saying, I'll just say I tried to go a different angle after reading all the people, and I went after the entertainment value. And of course, I would. I'm an actor trained person. I've done a lot of things around the industries in entertainment. And the one thing I did see and notice is that we talk about the white hairs, and I really never noticed this before. But number one, we don't have great entertaining broadcasting at all.
No.
And I'm sure the guys at TVG, who I love, will tell you the same thing. We don't have things going on and at night when they're blacked out to put something in there for horse racing, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully we can try to do that, everything like that. But we don't have that. There's no intrigue, everything like that. But I also noticed the people that are there, and no offense to any of them, but I did notice that they're not, let's put it this way, Tom, myself, Sarah will never get a job in one of these things because we don't have a mom or dad or a husband or wife that are in the industry. And I'm not saying that for sour grapes at all. I'm saying the fact that Skip Bayless, Mel Kiper, whoever you want to talk about, Stephen A. Smith, who are they related to? No, but they're talented at what they do. And that's what you need to bring people in. Entertaining. You don't have Bill Belichick's wife or daughter or son coming on talking about football because football fans would knock that and they wouldn't stand for it, but we do. And it's no offense to the people that do it. I know some great people that are in that lineage that do it, and I'm not knocking them, but it's their one go-to. It's what they do. They don't bring people in from other places. Paul Lo Duca was one they did do a baseball player or everything like that, but that's a baseball player. Okay. Simple and great job. But it is weird. Let's look at the entertainment aspect. Let's bring people in that are like doing this. Let's get them more involved in college, where they might study to be, people are studying to be a broadcaster, to be whatever. They're not studying horse racing.
No.
They're studying football, baseball, basketball. That's what they want to do. Let's get them into horse racing. Let's bring in the entertainers that have been trained to entertain. Let's not just make it a sorority fraternity. And
you're right.
And that's one thing. And that's off topic. That's a different issue, but that's a small one that I think is bigger than we think.
But in the same aspect with entertainment, look at all major four sports. You have Tom Brady, you have Mike Trout, you have these people that are constant out there promoting the product, getting endorsement deals that the average fan will recognize. The average, might watch a handful of games a year that we'll recognize. Unfortunately, and we'll talk about this with many shows to come, the face of horse racing is Baffert. And we, this is a whole other issue where who do we have in the horse racing industry that can go out there and be the face? The Ortiz brothers? No. We're seeing what what Irad did a couple weeks ago, but that just gets back into your whole horse racing where the entertainment value, you need somebody to be out there and, hey, jump on my back. I'm gonna get endorsement deals. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and I'm going to help grow the sport. And we don't have that in an owner, in a trainer, in a jockey at this point in time. Are there guys out there like Trevor McCarthy and Pletcher and just people, dynamic personalities? Yes, but they need to get the sport needs to figure out how to get out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like movies. Listen, movie stars aren't given a movie star. They make the movie first. and then they put them in there. So that's what they need to do. And that's why I say that. And that's what worries me, that you just hire everybody that's, oh, this person knows it because of blah, 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 blah. Maybe you bring somebody in that's actually entertaining, talented, that can bring a whole broad spectrum and make basically a movie out of horse racing, and then star the Ortiz brothers, and then they're stars. Because if you build it, they will come. That's what we know. America will go to what they're told to like. I mean,
whatever you like them.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, like I said, that's a different level of things.
Right.
You know, obviously we have
topic, yeah.
that's a subtle thing going on that we need to think about and talk about, and has nothing to do with us. Listen, no hire us. We're the stupidest thing to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, but you know, some sort of something here, and I'm sure most people in the industry will agree with me at this point. So we'll go into it. So let's start reading off. So Tom, let's read off some of the ones you have that you got. Skim over them as much as you can. There's a lot of the same.
Absolutely. Yeah. One thing that we talked about last week is the sport does nothing to attract new customers. They're satisfied. And we've talked about this, unfortunately, ad nauseum. I'm 40 some odd years old. And whenever I'm at Delaware Park, I'm the youngest. I'm one of the youngest guys. I'm the youngest guy there on a Wednesday by far. And what can the sport do to bring in new people? And it's unfortunately, it seems like, as you mentioned earlier, the white hairs are satisfied with status quo, and they'll come eventually. That's one reoccurring topic that people have spoken time and again, and you and I have discussed multiple times.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's the big thing you see is getting new people into the track. And they've tried a lot of different things. I know they have in California. And I need to hear, you know, and if everybody's out there, comment to me, how do we do that? We do the free things. I mean, I know they do the pumpkin patches out here. They do whatever. I think it goes, once again, I think it goes towards your entertainment. And I also think it goes before that. Somewhere along the line, like, every little kid plays Little League, not every little kid. Every little kid plays Pee Wee football. Every little kid plays soccer. So, of course, they're going to be big. No one plays horse racing. How do we get kids involved like that? And that's a big thing with sports. How do you get them there? Because they're all going to be into baseball because they played baseball. Football, right. The same. It's something. So that's the part that we need to work on, which nobody plays horse racing. But listen, no one plays MMA, and they've earned that. They've gotten there. Nobody plays that.
Right.
More natural to fight than it is to ride a horse, probably. But I don't know. But so I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and that gets just gonna put my 2 cents out there. And you mentioned MMA. I think what's attracting people is not necessarily the sport, it's the gambling aspect. And we talked about it, I believe, last week or a few weeks ago, is in real-time betting. People, of course, there's people that love all aspects of the sport, but it's we have to realize that some people are just in it for the gambling aspect, which is fine. Which is great. That brings more revenue into the sport. And could you imagine if we had, okay, who's getting to the quarter pole first? And just so many real time bets. You could bet jockey versus jockey. Will Irad have the over under for the day for Irad is going to be 4. I think that may attract more people, may attract definitely more revenue into it. But that just goes hand in hand to how to attract younger folks is, I think, bumping up the gambling.
Yeah, no, that will help. And listen, you speak MMA real quickly. What saved the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter? What did I just say? It got into everybody's home, mainstream. The Ultimate Fighter, the reality series where they fought, saved the UFC. Dana White will say that. Everybody will say that. I've heard it a million times. So it goes back to the entertainment. So it is weird that we do that. And that's the problem. We have producers that have never produced anything. We have writers that have never written anything. Sorry, but
yep,
they have.
that's right.
And you're working for these stations. Sorry, I'm not trying to offend you, but it's true. You have the low of the low. Maybe you're not paying them much, maybe not whatever, but why wouldn't you be out there with, finding a showrunner that, somebody who's pitched 15 reality shows? Why aren't you working with the people that have done big things? Why aren't you working with people that have written real things? Maybe, why aren't you working with Hollywood? You're right here in California.
Right. Got two of the best tracks in the country.
Yeah.
Right there.
They've tried, they've done things, but they all
it's tough.
So
it's tough. And another thing, and it kind of goes with this, is, man, there are homes that have better technology than some of these tracks and cameras, and that's another thing that I have seen. Multiple people have said that it's really some tracks still have black and white footage, for Christ's sakes. It's
so behind,
pathetic.
Yeah, and that's what I mean when they keep firing within their little community, not bringing people in. It's like if you had the greatest pyrotechnist guy, they worked with Def Leppard for in 1990, or 1988, but 1990, you're going to hire that guy, or you're going to hire somebody's fucking cousin or son or wife or brother. Guess what they would do?
They don't want to rock
that person instead of that going to find that person.
Yeah.
To be like, but once again, let's get rid of this fraternity, sorority mentality. Let's stop. Let's open it up for the people. So let's get into it, though. Let's get some of the ones that are read. All right. I'm going to go ones I read. And the question I put out there was, if you were commissioner of all U.S. horse racing, what are the 3 things you would do first? And I got a lot of responses, so I'll try to breeze through them really quick. So bear with me, and we'll talk about them as much as we can. From I Am Bow Guy, he said, try to conform the game like all major sports. Create roster limits so many of the trainers can, and many trainers are real owners. And I'm saying this because lots of times you see a 5-horse field in California, same guy. We've talked about this before. So that's number 1. I would work with the breeders to try to bring up the foal crop by offering more incentives for the people that breed the mares. We've hit on that too. It's a good idea. Probably going to be the first thing that most are going to post. Uniform medication rules, not allow direct access for all CAW into the mutual pools. Yes, we're going to get I'll start with 3. We're going to get the uniform rules, the rules of medication, everything like that. But you're absolutely right. But good ones on there. I like that. Being in California, seeing the 5-horse fields with the same guy who trains 4 of them, I was just involved in that. We went over that. Great one. Absolutely. The breeders thing, more incentives. We talked about that, where more incentives to stay around before breeding, I think, is a big one. Next one I'm going to go is Tom. VIP did a couple of them. He wants to set up standard operating procedures that all tracks must conform to, like the ISO standard covering drug rules, racing rules. Okay, so we get that one again, Tom. So mark that down. It's a big one, obviously. Set up a national review board to oversee all stewards and review all decisions in the monthly national report available to the public. Yes, very good point. I think that's when we did instant replay in the NFL, and then all of a sudden, it went to the main people.
That's exactly right. Yep.
So I get it. Create all equine and safety, but we'd have to have a national ruling at that.
It all starts with that. It all starts with that commission that we've been talking about, or commissioner.
Yep. Basically, the next one is setting protocols, handling all breakdowns and fatalities. Yes, obviously, but I think they have that already. But their own arm, he's saying equine health and safety arm. Yeah. Maybe we should talk about it more and release necropsies. What are they? Necropsies? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Things like that. So we know. No one wants to talk about it or do whatever, but
It has to be out there.
Yeah. So next one is stop all CAW betting into all pools at 3 minutes to post. Okay, that's interesting. Makes sense. That's good though. I like off the thing, and that's a good one. Put surveillance on all those trainers, especially high trainers, determine get the guilty ones out of the sport. Okay, I mean surveillance, that's a hard one. It always is. They'll get around the cameras.
Sure.
I get it, what you're saying. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Set up all the inquiry board like Major League Baseball, where all inquiries and objections are reviewed and determinations made by independent panel members instead of by stewards at the tracks.
I like it. I really like that one.
That's another one that's kind of what was talked about before. So another one. And that was from Trifecta. Dan Montilian. He went all out. He said, clean up the sport, see above my fellow member suggestions, what we just talked about. And he said, lower takeout, quit. Those are my principles. And if you don't like them, well, I have others. Well, Dan, I like them. I get it. Lower takeout is going to be one of the things that come up. That is going to more money, more people, and more problems. But more money, more people are going to get the track, clean up the sport. Very vague, but I love it. And I'm going to do a couple more of these, and I'm going to do the rest in the next week's one. So bear with me. I agree. Setting up a roster, limiting horses to trainers, owners, tracking anyone that might be assisting, running another stable, penalty being fines, suspensions. That would hurt badly. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing. I mean, we're a free market. That's a tough one. We're a free market. So, I mean, do we do something of basically like the NFL does with with the salary cap, basically a salary cap. Basically, this is how many horses you can have in a barn. This is how much money of horses worth. That's something to talk about. When Bob Baffert has 30 horses in his barn here, just say 30, and he's worth $60 million, those horses. Is that okay? Or, you know what I mean? $60 million for the horses is like Delaware Park the last 5 years. Correct? It's true, right?
Sure.
I'm not saying Delaware Park should be Bob Baffert, but Dan Blacker might want to catch up. Give some other people some other chances because these people are turning people away. It's football. When the Patriots got everything in their way, everybody talked about them and whatever, it turned a lot of people off. People that are small market football teams are starting to not watch football because they don't win. And they're starting to look at everybody. So
it's what they do in base. I mean, people, Kansas City Royals fans, people who with the small market baseball teams, they gave up a long time ago because there is no cap, and they know they're not going to have they're not going to have a competition.
For the sport, you need it to be even. You do.
You do. And one of the things that I saw in here that I really like, and it's a little bit, a lot of people might not agree with it, but better racing product. And if that means closing down some of the third tier tracks, so be it. I was talking to somebody at the track the other day during morning works, and the one thing they said, which I thought was I didn't really like it at first, but I thought it was a pretty unique idea. There's horse racing every day of the week. Great for some people, but you know what made the NFL so special way back when? They only played on Sundays, and then they became Sundays and Mondays. Now they play like every day of the week. But could you imagine the excitement? How fun it would be if horse racing was just, we'll say, on Saturday and Sundays, at a few tracks? It could be magical again.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think people would miss it during the week, but somehow we could figure it out to team up with tracks. No need for two tracks, 60 miles apart to be running together at the same time
on the same day. At the same time, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That's a good one too. Make note of that. And this is from Stu Ball, the one I just read before with the rosters for trainers. Purse is determined by number of horses in a race. That's interesting. That's hard though, because how would they might fix it to enter 10 and scratch them. What do you do? I wouldn't enter my horse if I knew it was going to be a $20,000 race because everybody scratched. That would be, I get what you're saying, but a nightmare. Lasix free races to get a bonus. You can run with Lasix, run without it for a bonus. I think that's cool, but I'm a Lasix person. I think it's okay. But right. I get it. Start going towards the non-Lasix thing. Rewarding people for what they want you to do is a good thing. All train and jockey violations to be publicly posted on the odds board and on internet. Easy to find for anyone. Any suspensions on it? I mean, they probably are. And if they're not, no one would look them up right now. Anyway, this goes to our making the sport bigger. So that would be a big deal. Somebody passes flunks a drug test in the NBA. We know all about it. And I'm not saying it's ever going to be as big as the NBA, but let's try to make it somewhat as big, somewhat national. I mean, if Messi, he's a soccer player, right? He tests positive for something, I'll probably hear about it somehow. If Irad Ortiz tests positive, anybody would know. No. Besides us in the industry. Then I don't watch soccer. That's my point. No. Yeah. So, but okay. So you want an embarrassment thing to make them be more accountable because they don't want to have their name ripped through the mud. I got you. That's probably the best thing you do to people.
Goes back to a slap on the wrist too, with what we're seeing with a few trainers and a few jockeys. Just almost, oh hey, you're suspended in New York, but I can ride in California.
Yeah, absolutely. Horses must run if stabled at track. Otherwise, they pay daily rent for stabling and transparency with a lot of things. Breakage down to the penny. Yeah, that's a hard thing, though. I mean, everything's moving so fast. I mean, we're talking a lot of numbers going in and out. I know this from experience of where I work. Where anybody works, really, but I work in the industry, where bills come up every other day that you don't even know about with these horses. Things come up. I think we try to be as transparent as possible, but almost impossible to be full transparency.
Of course.
It's almost like if you ran a big store and asking them to be transparent on every deal or all the wages of the guy cleaning the floors every other day. But I get what you're saying. I respect it. It does make sense. Tell the people what everybody are making. It is weird that you don't know. That would probably draw more interest. And I'm sure that studios in Hollywood forever, to this day, I'm sure, and I know this move because I've been around it, is you own a lot in the studio. You invest in a movie. Tom invests in a movie. I own a lot. I'm Universal. I shouldn't have said Universal, sorry, because they'll probably come and sue me. I'm Randy's Productions. Tom invests in a movie that I do at Randy's Productions. He gets his bill at the end of the thing. Guess what? Randy's Productions rented out his studio to myself for a lot of money. And, my point is, are they padding their pockets? Probably. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I would say more, maybe checking on people more, maybe really, J. Edgar Hoovering trainers and things like that. Let's get into it. Let's see who's making all the money. Because, there's always somebody that's figured something out that's making all the money. Because who it's not? Sure. The owners, us, the tracks. Somebody is, though. Somebody is. They always are. So, yeah, that's a good one, too. I'm going to go into, I did 6. Tom, do you have any? I'm going to go into these other ones, and I want to let everybody know. The Seleucus, I'm going to read yours, Tom. Tom VIP, man. Not you. Askin Haskin, Sharky, Duffin, Jeff P. All of them. I think I know Jeff P. He's got a really good one in here. I think I do know Jeff P. I do know Jeff P. Good guy. Check mark. We're going to go over all yours in future episodes. We're going to keep this up. I just want to get through what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Yep. And one thing that I liked and we spoke about before is zero tolerance for animal abusers and zero tolerance for cheaters. We go back to look at what happens to cheaters in baseball. Look what happened to Pete Rose. Look what happened to Joe Jackson and all the guys in the White Sox. Boom, out. I know that there is some type of a standardized procedures for steroids and drugs.
Their steroid policy is pretty big. It's like it's a big one at first, and then it's like a year.
Yeah, it's like 3 strikes and you're out, and then the third or fourth you're out. I think it's a simple, understandable rule, and something like that adopted here with racing, where trainers and owners are drugging not themselves but the horse, should even be more severe and more forceful. I think it will solve 2 birds with 1 stone. So this is a good that we got this response. I think that because again, at the end of the day, it's all about those animal athletes, like Randy alluded to at the beginning of the show. They do everything that we ask of them, and we have folks that are abusing them, like Amber Cobb did at Delaware Park, who should never be in a stall, never be near a horse again. And that happened at my home track, and I feel personally offended by that scum for what she did. And we also have one thing that is said often, not during our questions, but also during almost, I see it on a daily basis on Twitter, is odds after the bell. I'm not one for fixed odds, but I think you said something earlier, Randy, maybe stop the odds 2 or 3 minutes before post time. I think that's a great idea. But yeah, there's the odds after the bell. You know, it's a noticeable change with like in the past year, 2 years, where it has happened more and more and more often. Is it suspicious? I don't know, maybe, but it doesn't really put a good taste on people's mouth. Again, trying to get the younger people, trying to get new people in. Wait a second. When I put the bet in, like a minute ago, it was 5-1, and now I'm looking at. And now I'm looking at even money. Like, what the hell happened? What I don't understand. What am I supposed to say? Like a whale came in and Randy came in and dropped all his money.
I would really change the odds.
But no, it's a good point, and a couple people mentioned it when we asked the question, and again, see it all the time. Saw it happen the other day on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of not that, just because, like we've talked about. And if you stopped at 3 minutes before, I mean, that's fine. What's the difference? I mean, can you bet the odds lock 3 minutes before? You're going to have everybody in the world waiting to bet 2 minutes before. I mean, you can't win. You can't win with that. That's. I get the philosophy. It just opens up such a can of worms. I really do. And I'll say that. I mean, if I go and I drop, and I never will, don't believe Tom. If I have $1 million in my pocket and I go to Delaware Park and grab an 8-1 shot, because I might know something about this horse, because I handicap, maybe I know somebody that said, like, watch out for this horse, he's going to be good. And the morning line maker screwed up and put 8-1. And I go and put $1 million on that horse at 8-1, I will break Delaware Park. I will break them with that. I will break them.
No, and we can say Lone Star. That gets into my next.
Santa Anita, maybe. Who knows now?
Right. Well, who knows? Right. When you have
that's a big loss.
Yeah, it is.
They don't lose money if they lose the odds. I put $1 million on. They will never lose money. I'll get $1 million and $4 at the end of the day.
Right.
If they have to. And they're not going to lose money on that bet.
No, and it gets to our next the next comment, and I don't want to. We got a lot of stuff we don't want to talk about every single thing, but something that could be floated, and you and I have discussed it, Randy. College football. You have the Big Ten, you have the ACC, like you have the different conferences, different divisions. That could be something new and interesting in the sport. Somebody had mentioned that to me and kind of dismissed it at first, but okay, you have your tier 1 tracks, your Saratogas, your Churchills, you have your tier 2 tracks. I don't want to call it, but your different division. Mm-hmm. And you could do it by takeout. You could do it. I don't want to offend any tracks here, but you could, and you have tier 3 tracks, A, B, and C tracks, and I'll do it by takeout. And so have some sort of division, have some sort of division rankings on that, and have more of a leaderboard. And it's something to look at. It's something to look at on the internet and the paper as far as that goes, and could attract those numbers oriented people into the sport, because you and I see a lot of these younger generation are more numbers oriented than people growing up like you and I that are more on the horse angle. But the more numbers out there, the better for some people, and something like that could attract people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. I mean, people like numbers, they like rankings, they like things they can go read in the paper. Well, not the paper anymore, on the internet.
How old are we? The paper.
Yeah, I know. But they want to read it on the internet. They want to, people love rankings. They love divisions because you're always involved. So your horse might not be a Kentucky Derby contender, but it's the best in Delaware, Maryland, goes up to Naira and wins, a couple things. Like, it's the man around that track, or the female, the woman around that track, whatever it might be. People like that. People don't go watch Division II football thinking they could beat, Alabama tomorrow, but they might win Division II, and they're happy about it, and that's cool.
And they have so many fans because of that. And hey, we're the best. We're the best in IAA.
Exactly. And we won our conference. I mean, people are big on that. Just win your conference. Like, who cares about everything else? Because you're never going to win a national title. Win your conference. I mean, it's a different thing. When you play high school sports, we came from where I came from, you're looking at winning your division. Maybe you make a run in the States. You're not looking at, and there's other kids that are out there looking at national championships. You didn't look at that. Right. We didn't care. And it should be the same with horse racing. So no, I think that's a good thing. Bringing it to that internet thing and everything like that. Once again, I don't know why, and we talked about it a little bit this weekend. I banged around the idea of going to bars, because I don't know why TVG is not doing it. I don't know why Twin Spires isn't doing it. I mean, if I went around a bar on a Sunday, maybe I'll do this just to show it. And they have 40 TVs around. You don't think on a Friday when nothing's on, they could put on your channel and get people to watch? There's people in those bars. I live in a beach area. There's people in those bars watching reruns of college football games.
That's exactly what it is. Sad.
And then they learn to bet. You want to get people in right there. Do it once again. Be fucking entertainers. Get people out there to be like, hey, check this out. Go to a bar. Give them something. They not even give them something. Just tell them to do it. What do they care? They get 17.
Right. They're watching freaking bullshit.
Reruns of Mama's Family. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly how old I am.
Yeah. No, that's great. But yeah, a Monday afternoon, as opposed to 227, they could be watching. They could be watching Parks and be like, okay, hey, well, I don't know, like, oh, you can bet from your phone. You can sit here on your butt.
Somebody was there telling them, yeah.
And okay, I'll just bet like $5, whatever. It's no big. Oh, my guy came in. Shots on me.
I won $7 and they're happy.
Right.
They have interest. I was in Grenada and I was sitting there watching cricket. At a bar. And I had to ask how it works. What's going on? Like give me the rules, give me everything. I was into cricket right then.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
But you put horse racing on, and if nobody's there to tell them, or just put it on, they'll figure it out. People look up and go, what are those numbers? Oh, those are odds. Oh, so if I put $2 on the 8, I might win $20.
Right.
Oh, well, give me $2 on the 8. No, you just go on your phone. It makes no sense. That's our first stop. Our first stop is that. I mean,
drunks with flexible income.
Yeah, it's. What are you gonna? You're gonna spend $8 on a beer,
right?
You know what I mean?
You could have a program and bet $2 a race and spend no more than $20.
I would hand out programs at those bars. Horse racing wants to do something. If they make an agreement to put on their TV, 2 TVs out of their 20 they have, here's free programs. Print them off. I mean, there you go. Genius.
You can get your app. You can get any kind of app on your phone and just go from there.
Crazy.
Or if you go to a couple bars like you and I go to, you could just go to the back room. But unfortunately, those bars are few and far between.
They're not around. You can't find those on the West Coast.
There are a few out here in Delaware, but it's a real simple thing, and I think it's funny. You and I have been talking about this for a few months, and unfortunately, it took something like the events that occurred a week ago today that were like really we gotta fix it. It's broken. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We joke and stuff, but we love the sport and it's broken. It's shattered into a million pieces. We've got to fix it. So your kids and those kids can watch it and talk about it, because at the rate we're going, man, it's scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. And we're going to go more into this. I mean, this is something we're going to grab the torch and run with this. I mean, I think we have to, not for anything besides, I feel like we should, and I want to, I want to get people involved. And like I said, this is a time to come together. This isn't time to be negative.
No.
About anything or anybody who doesn't like us or we don't like you. This is a time we need to look at the sport and not be about ourselves and be about the sport. And we were onto something during the pandemic. And maybe because a lot more eyes were on us, things came up that were always there. And that's a problem. So let's bring this back to Saturdays and Sundays on TV, on NBC, ABC, the big networks,
Not just 3 times a year.
Yeah. And we're not going to be flash in the pans, let's do a viral video and all that stuff or try to sell it in a weird way. Ask Vince McMahon how that worked out with the XFL.
I was just going to say, it's not the XFL, man.
Yeah, and the XFL now might work because they're not doing that. We need to really go after it.
But no, it's you're right. It's not about going not about a viral video and shooting the bird at a couple jockeys and trainers that you don't like, because we're not solving anything that way. Like you said, I mean,
let's be a little more creative in that when we're
people are ticked, and it's they have every right to be ticked, but let's get ourselves up by the bootstraps and do what we can do. And unfortunately, people in the TBG, other networks, for whatever odd reason, their hands are tied and they
Yeah.
can't.
And that's a problem.
They can't talk about it. But you have people like your ESPN talking heads. They can talk whatever they want to about the sports. Unfortunately,
It's a
they don't
problem.
talk
I
about
don't
our
believe it's
sport.
them. Yeah, I don't believe
No.
it's
Oh
them.
no. They're good. I mean,
But that's a
we
problem
know
where they
guys.
don't, they're weirdly like everybody's afraid of everybody here.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
we're too
we're
old
not.
to be afraid of anybody. And I've been
What are you
around
gonna
too
do?
much and I've been around a lot of shit. So I'm not scared. What are you gonna do? And we don't make anything on this anyway, so who cares? What are you gonna do? Take away our birthdays? Good.
That's fine.
So but everybody out there that did write in, and please keep writing in. Go in the comments, everything like that. We're going to try to get to everybody. We're going to try to do this. We're going to be a little quicker about it. This is our intro to it. We're going to do who we think should be a good commissioner. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to bring people on that, you might think should be commissioner, and we'll have them talk.
And reasons why.
Name somebody, we can probably get them on here. We are friends with a lot of people. Oddly enough, we are, maybe not after this episode, but we are. So yeah, we'll have people involved in the game, but honestly, I do care what they think, but I care more about what you guys think out there watching, because you are the people that make this go. And I'm sick and tired of them placating to just not those people in particular, but those people and that little fraternity they have, because that's not who's paying their bills.
No,
it's not. It's us. It's the people that wrote in, that are on these forums and everything like that. Shout out to Pace Advantage. The people on Twitter, they're unbelievable. And what a great community.
Really
Those are the people that I want to hear from.
Yeah, it's in it. Yeah, Twitter. You can say bad things, good things, but you sort out the bullshit, and you get what we've got today and what we're going to be doing in the future on this particular subject. I mean, we can sit here and do as many pick shows as you can, but that's not that. If we're not, they're not going to be a pick show if we're not going to save the sport. And not trying to say that we are doing it by doing this, but it's better than sitting on our hands. And
yeah, absolutely. And look, say the sport goes away in 30 years and then we're all old and maybe not even around anymore. Who knows? Don't we want it to be better? Either way. I mean, yeah, we're trying to save it. Yes. Cause I think it could go away, but at the end of the day, even if it's around at a smaller,
got to be improved.
Yeah,
I think that
make it better. Let's make it better. It's got potential.
I think that the next show is why are we saving it? Why are we saving it?
Yeah. We'll hear from people with that. But we are going to get into everybody else's comments. If you did leave a comment and I didn't mention it, I apologize for that. We just don't have enough time. But we will do a part 2 of this and read your comments as well. So please, bring them all in. I thought I was going to get all the same, and I didn't, which is awesome.
Diversity.
It makes me think, and it makes everybody else think. So let's bring these out there to everybody.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm just looking at a couple of ones that we didn't get into, and there's a lot of smart people, a lot of good ideas out there. So keep them coming. Get with myself and in the clowns via Twitter. Randy mentioned Pace Advantage, which is a great asset as well. But yeah, this is good stuff, and it's a long time coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can sit around and talk about it all the time. We're putting it out there. We're trying to get involved. We do talk to trainers and owners, so we are a little bit there. And hopefully they can see us if they want to avoid everybody else out there and avoid the comments and everything like that. We're going to be in their face, and here we are. And hopefully they're watching, or they will.
They are. They are. You get it. I get it. Mm-hmm. We're hitting them from both coasts. You're getting it from some of the East Coast or the West Coast trainers, jocks, owners. I'm getting it from some of the Mid Atlantic. same folks in the Mid Atlantic. It's we're tackling the country by storm.
Absolutely. So yeah, like Tom said, so keep an eye out for more of that. If you guys have any comments, leave them on the bottom. We'll read those too. That's even easier for us. If you have your ideas or anything like that, we're trying. We're going to grab the flag. We're going to run with it, and we'll pass that flag around. I don't need to lead any charge at all, but I want a war. I do want us, the people. I don't even know who we're against. We're just trying to get into a fortress of greatness. But so make sure you go on there. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep bringing you other things that are more entertaining than this. This is sad to me.
Yeah. We got another. We have another Time Machine.
Time Machine coming out.
If folks haven't watched the one with Easygoer Sunday Silence, that one has been we're still getting comments on that. It's about a month out that it's in there, and of course all of our pick shows. But yeah, we're trying to work on a new game show. We did D-Gen Squares about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and this is business. We got to have some fun. This show is a little bit of business, but get back to having some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, our last 2 Mondays haven't been a happy shows for us. This isn't a happy show. This is something we need to get out there, and I like to get it off my chest, and I like the fact that people are responding and talking about what they're talking about. And whatever you guys agree, disagree with what we said, like I said, we're not the end all. We're just putting them out loud and what I think. Sometimes I play devil's advocate. Sometimes I'm right on your side. It's just whatever, and that's a good thing. To get it out there, to talk about it, and keep them coming in. It's awesome. We're going to get back to our weekly shows. They're going to be a lot of fun. We're doing the Time Machine. Tom, you got Off the Rails. We're doing Gulfstream.
With Barry Sniper Spears. We're taping this on Monday. It'll be on Tuesday, the 14th. We're going to be doing Gulfstream's card for Wednesday. So we got to first time we're hitting Gulfstream with Barry and my co-host AJ.
Absolutely. It should be a good time. Glad to see Barry on there. Barry's always been somebody that's followed and everything.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. We need more Barrys out there, which is great. And so that'll be a good time. So we're doing a lot of things coming up. We have a pick show later on in the week, I'm sure we'll do. And we'll bring you through the holidays, a lot of cool things. And for me, Tom, nothing else, right? I mean,
nobody else is doing it, so why don't we do it? That's our. If nobody else, why not us? Let's save the damn sport.
Yeah, let's do it. Like I said, and we need everybody's help. It's not going to happen with just us. We need everybody's help, and we'll try our best to get it out there. You guys try your best too. Maybe we bang around ideas, and we can figure something out. It's not going to fall on deaf ears. Let's keep going, guys, and let's save this damn sport because we love it, and we hope to make a living on it. I do right now. Is it something? It's not only my livelihood; it's something I grew up with. It's something you guys probably grew up with. It's something you probably want your kids to grow up with. It's awesome. So let's do it. Let's save the sport. And there's a lot of bad things. I don't have rose-colored glasses on. I'm good.
Yep.
So, all right. So for me, it's G. Randall Johnson from the Triple Clouds. That's right. Hit that like, subscribe button, everything you can do. Leave some comments. It'll be great to talk about what's going on. Sorry it was so long tonight. Yeah. We just had so much to talk about. We'll be back. Tom, thank you so much. Pleasure.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah. So let's, we'll see everybody soon.